What advice do you have for people viewing today that have not been a little cautious in the use of their credit cards, and the credit card interest rates are way up here and the credit card debt is way up here, and they make minimal payments and it's not chipping away at the balance really?
Those are people who definitely should think about seeing a lawyer and thinking about the possibility of a Chapter 13. I often talk to people about that problem, and I say, look, if you took all of your credit cards and you put it into one big loan, how big would that loan be? If it's going to be $25,000, and the consequence of you're getting this loan from me, no interest, don't have to pay me back, of $25,000, is that I say to you, you can't borrow money for 2 years, which is about the way it works today. So if that's what you're going to do, definitely see an attorney, because he can give you that situation. You file that bankruptcy, you get, in effect, the discharge of all that $25,000, and you hurt your credit for about 2 years.
But how can one, if they, again, going back to the tough economic times, the high unemployment, if they're not getting income in and they're able to get that loan, or they're getting minimal income in, people are living from paycheck to paycheck, and some people are not even able to do that. Where do they fall in the economic crack of today?
Well, those are the people who have to look much harder at how they're doing their finances. If a lot of your income is going to debt, or the servicing of debt, going to the credit card company, that's when you have to decide, well, is this really what I want to do? And if you have credit card debt of more than 50% of your income, then you definitely need to see somebody about taking some action with it. Now, some people, of course, go on the internet and they get to these programs that claim that they're going to wipe out your debt by doing this debt negotiation. You got to remember a couple of things about that. When you do that, it ruins your credit. That's number one. Number two, very few of those plans are ever successful. So before you do that, you need to really think very hard about it, and never, and this is my own personal rule, never deal with anybody who is located in a state other than your own. Because if they cheat you, you have no recourse against them. You can't really go to California and sue somebody if you're in New York. Same thing, you can't go from California to Florida to sue somebody. That's maybe what a big company can do, but the average person who's struggling with their debts can't do that.
I remember taking business class one time, and one of the things that they said was, when you set up, and we're talking about New York State, when you set up your contracts, make sure you include in your contract that this contract is under New York State law only. And you're saying, like, if it's California, do the same thing, or Florida, do the same thing to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of companies put that into their statements, and if you look, you'll see that a lot of the credit card companies, if you go to the back of the form, in the back of the form it'll say what state laws are going to apply. What they don't tell you about that is if you're in New Jersey and they're applying Wisconsin law or South Dakota law, or in the favorite of the credit card companies is Nevada law,
okay,
that court in New Jersey is going to have to apply Nevada law. That doesn't happen very often. What happens very often is the court in New Jersey will apply New Jersey law, the court in New York will apply New York law, the court in California will apply California law, unless somebody tells them that we're really operating under some other state's law. But beyond that, the average consumer usually can rely on his own state's law, which says what contracts can be dealt with that way. Some contracts have to be handled under the local law.